Awesome, so it's 4 o'clock. I'm going to get started. We'll start with a little talking about anatomy to let people to come in and get to their mat. Today I'd like for you to bring your awareness to your intercostal muscles, which are the muscles that run in between the bones of your ribs. And these muscles aid in expanding and contracting your rib cage as you breathe. So you can imagine if we're breathing short, tight breaths, our intercostal muscles get tighter and tighter and more restricting. And when they get tight, then we have a harder time finding deep, full breaths. And also you can start to experience pain along your rib cage. So first of all, just start by palpating in between your ribs, finding that muscle tissue. It's small, it's not a lot of space, in between your rib bones on either side, either feeling them for the first time or just bringing your awareness, heightening your awareness onto those muscles for today's practice. And once you've located those muscles in between your ribs, go ahead and take your palms and bring them to either side of your rib cage. Don't worry about your shoulders hiking or your elbows protruding out. Just want you to find a nice firm grasp on your rib cage. From here, inhale, filling your hands with your ribs. Side to side, feel those intercostal muscles expanding and growing, and then exhale, feel your ribs coming in closer together. Inhaling into your palms through the nose. Feel how those intercostal muscles expand side to side, the muscles between your ribs, and then exhale, feel them shrink and contract. One more like that, inhaling. Widening the rib cage, and exhale, feeling the muscles shrink and contract. Throughout today's practice, I want you to be extra aware of how your breath can affect the stretch of those intercostal muscles. You can give them a stretch simply by breathing deeply in any position or just throughout your day. Let's bring our hands in behind our head, interlacing the fingertips, finding the base of your palm at the base of your skull, that occiput, and just wiggle your head back and forth, making sure that you found that bony landmark. From here, give a little traction up on the base of your skull, as if you were pulling the top of your head off of your spine. And then push the back of your head a little bit into your hands, into that hammock of your fingertips. And then let that go. Again, tractioning up at the base of the skull, pulling your head away from your spine, and then pressing the back of your head in between your hands. And release. Go ahead and nod your chin to chest, softening at the sternum, and then bring your elbows in towards each other, hollowing out in your chest and stretching the back of your neck and the back of your upper body in between your shoulder blades. Inhale here, keeping your elbows heavy. Exhale. One more inhale. And exhale, coming back up to center, articulating one vertebrae at a time, opening your elbows wide. Twisting your spine over to the right side, same thing, softening in the chest. Draw your chin to chest and elbows in towards each other. You should feel a nice stretch across the back of your shoulders in between your scapula. Inhale, widening the intercostals, and exhale, soften. Inhale, wide, and exhale, soften. Rolling up through the spine, one vertebrae at a time, elbows widen. Twist all the way over to the left side, easy in the spine, chin to chest, softening the sternum back, elbows come in towards each other, heavy on your head, stretching the back of the neck. Inhale, ribs widen, exhale, soften. Inhale, wide, and exhale, soften. Rolling back up through the spine, head is long and tall, and rotate back to center. Opening your arms out wide to this goalpost position, wrists are in line with elbows. Bring your hands in front of your face, palms and elbows connecting. Squeeze in on your palms and elbows, and then exhale and widen, turning your palms out to face the sides of the walls, bringing your elbows slightly behind your shoulders, feeling a stretch across the front of your chest and in your pecs. And inhale, bringing them closer together, squeezing, and exhale, rotating your palms out first, as if you were painting the air in front of you and to the side, pulling back, feeling a stretch across your chest. And one more time. Squeezing in, elbows, hands connected, and opening the palms, rotating out, finding that stretch across your chest. From here, continue flexing through those palms. turn your head over to the right shoulder. You might feel a little nerve activation here on the left side. That's okay. And then turn your head back to center. Turning your head over to the left. Again, the sensation might be unusual if you've never felt it before, but our nerves need to be flushed out too. And back to center. One more like that. Over to the right side. Flexing strong through those palms. The more you flex, the more intense the exercise is, and back to center. Constantly pulling your elbows back to the left, and back to center. Letting that go, release, and lift the shoulders up towards the ears, and let them drop. Extending both arms out to the side. Again, another exercise to breathe through our intercostals. Tipping over to the right, lengthening through the left waist. Bring your right elbow down to the ground, and then reach your left arm up and over that left ear, stretching through the left side body. From here, inhale deep into the rib muscles, and exhale, release. One more, inhale, and exhale. Now rotate your chest towards your knee, keeping your right elbow on the ground if you can, pulling your belly back. Again, this should increase the stretch in your back. Inhale, deep into the rib muscles, and exhale, rotating your chest back to center, turning your head up to face that left arm. And rotate your chest to your knee. Inhale, and exhale. See if you can twist more. Include your head, gazing all the way up through that cervical spine. And one more time. Inhale, rotating. And exhale. I feel a big stretch through my intercostals during this exercise. Turn your head back to the front. Lift up through those left fingertips and come back to your seat. Tipping over the other way. Left fingertips reach for the ground. Bending in the elbow. If you can't reach the ground, that's fine. Work within your range. And then send that right arm up and over the right ear, grounding that opposite hip. From here, breathe into your ribs. Inhale. And exhale. Get longer as you deepen the stretch. Inhale. Expanding the ribs, and exhale. Now on your next inhale, turn your chest to face your left knee, pulling your back up and towards the ceiling. Inhale, deeper, and exhale, turn your chest to face back to the front. Turn your head all the way up to face that upper arm. And inhale, rotate chest to knee. And exhale, rotating back to center. One more time. Inhale, hollow out the belly. Puff the back up towards the sky to get more of a stretch. And exhale, back to center. Turn your face to the front. Lift up through your right fingertips and come to a long, tall seat. Excellent. Release that. Go ahead and find yourself in a quadruped position on your mat. Hips stacked over your knees. Shoulders stacked over your wrists. From here, step one foot back, and then press up from that heel into the sky, lengthening through that right leg. Lift your left arm off, and extend it over your left ear. This may be enough of a challenge for you. It's quite a hard balance. And put one hand down and the other knee down. And we'll take that on the other side, extending through the left leg, through the right arm, then lifting up that left leg, engaging the glutes, feeling that balance, how the body has to accommodate, and then bringing your hand down and your knee in. We'll take that again, adding on. Right leg extends back, flexing through the heel, left arm by the ear. Kick on the glutes and kick the leg up in line with your hip. From here, we'll tip our left hand down to touch the ground, and then lift the left hand up as the right foot meets the floor. Alternating like a seesaw. Left hand to ground, right leg up. Right foot to ground, left arm up. Keeping your right elbow soft. Now you can pitch the whole torso a little bit further to make this a bit more challenging. So your head is staying in line with your spine, but you're tipping the whole spine back and forth. One more time. Left fingers to the ground. And then your right foot pulls you back. Come to neutral. Bring that left hand down. Right knee in, and get ready for the other side. Left leg out, flexing through that foot, strong through the heel, right arm comes up by the ear. Now kick that left leg up. From here, testing out, right hand going down towards the ground, and then alternating, lifting the arm up as the left leg goes down. Left leg up, right arm down, belly is up and in. Right arm up, left leg down. And now increase the intensity of this by beginning to pitch your whole torso on either diagonal. Left elbow is soft, abs are engaged. 2 more. Noticing what negotiations your body has to make to keep your hips square and your balance in check. Last one, lift your left leg up, neutral, right hand, left knee in. Sit your hips back and take a small child's pose. Breathe into your intercostals, again expanding your ribs, and exhale, deepen in the hip creases. Coming back into your quadruped, tucking your toes, lift your knees off the mat 1 inch, another inhale, and an exhale, send your hips high, downward dog. Reaching your heels into the ground, go ahead and lift all 10 toes up as high as you can, and feel your big toes expanding away from your pinky toes, and then lay your toes back down, increasing the stretch at the back of the legs. From here, go ahead and turn your left heel in, taking half of a first position, so you're feeling more of a stretch on the outside lateral hamstring. Inhale, and exhale, turning that leg back to parallel. And taking the other side, rotating your right heel in, grounding through that foot, feeling a stretch through the outside of that right hamstring. And turning it back to parallel. Softening in your knees as you walk your hands towards your feet, left, and right for an easy hang over the legs. Bend your knees over your toes, soften your tail, and roll up 1 vertebrae at a time. Arms are heavy, dripping off your back. You can even circle them to make sure the weight is real. Long through the top of your head, and now we'll roll down, exhaling, softening your chin to chest. 1 vertebrae at a time. Belly can be soft, quads are released, hamstrings are lengthening, glutes are easy, finding your way into a forward fold. Now from here, reaching out right hand, left hand, we walk out into a plank, 4 steps, 1 long line, heels to head, and then from the top of the head, tucking your chin to chest, reverse that, left hand walks in first, right hand, walking your hands back to your feet, left and right. Easy bend of the knees over the toes, dropping the pelvis heavy and rolling all the way up. Seeing if your stretch increases with each pass. Head forward, chin to chest. Easy in the belly. Check in on your quads. Are they gripping? Try to turn them off. Until you're fully hung over your legs. From here, either tent your hands and walk them out a few inches, or if you want an increased, advanced version, tuck your palms underneath your toes. From here, we're just going to bend our knees as far as we can until our heels have to reach off the ground, and then we come into a full deep squat. Head comes up in line with our spine. Then our head drops forward and pulls our hips up as our feet come in contact with the ground again. Knees bend all the way down, head is long. Trying to reach your heels for the ground sooner and sooner each time, hips raise. I'll show you the advance, but go on and keep doing whatever version you're doing. This one adds a little bit more of a balance component. Head drops. 1 more. Tailbone, knees over toes, hovering long through the spine, and then chin to chest, pressing into your heels, lengthen all the way up. Last time, soft knees, walk out into a plank, left, right, feeling the line from your heels to your head, and then carefully drop 1 knee at a time. Setting up for some thoracic mobility and expansion. So with your knees stacked underneath your hips, wrists underneath your shoulders, take your left hand behind your head. Again, remembering to breathe into those intercostals, deep into the ribs. We exhale and draw your left elbow down towards the mat on an exhale. On an inhale, rotate from your center, open, pressing your head back into your hand, spiraling the spine. Again, exhale and drop. Inhale, trying to keep your hips stable, opening up the spine, expanding the chest. And again, exhale and drop. Inhale, keep going with this rhythm. And as you breathe, see if the expansion of your ribs can increase the twist, increase the mobility. 1 more on this side. Exhale. And inhale. Back to neutral, and left hand to the ground. We'll take the other side. Drawing your navel up and in, right hand comes behind the head, and we exhale, drawing the right elbow down towards the mat. On your inhale, expand through your ribs, press with that left hand, twist the spine like you're wringing out a towel, and exhale, lower. And inhale, keep going. Trying your best to keep your hips stable, but if they twist to the side a little bit, that's okay. We're really looking for mobility and ease of motion here. The more you do this, the more range you'll get. Inhale, last one. Exhale to drop. And inhale, widen. And bring that hand down to quadruped. Go ahead and cross at your ankles or your calves. Sit your hips back. Roll over the ankles and adjust yourself to the center of your mat for some ab work. Walking your hands back a few inches, feet strong into the ground, shoulders widen, chest lifts, press into your hands and feet, and lift your hips up towards the sky, one long line from your head to your knee. And crease in the hips, release the glutes, sit back down. One more like this. Feel free to send your head back if you like. And exhale, chin to chest. If you had your head back, crease in your hips. And go ahead, taking your hands behind your thighs, roll back slowly. One vertebrae at a time until you're finally on your mat. Take your time, take your time. Try not to skip through any bumps. And release long. Plant your feet about a foot away from your glutes. So if I stretch my hands out long and scratch the backs of my ankles, then I'm in the right position. We're going to be doing this exercise with a neutral spine. Now, if this is new to you, the idea is that your hip points are shining up towards the ceiling. Your pelvis is dropped back into the mat. There's the dog. Oh no. Of course, she stood directly in front of the video. Oh my gosh. She's an attention hog. All right. Pelvis is flat on the mat. And you have you're working with the natural curve of your low back, which is intended to have a small curve. And it's different on everybody's body. So keeping a little bit of light, a ray of light here underneath your spine, or that you could slide your hand underneath your low back. With this in mind, we're drawing our abs in and down, navel to spine. Interlace your hands behind your head, letting your head rest heavy back into your hands. Inhale, widen to your ribs, and on your next exhale, curl your chin to chest, rolling forward off of those low ribs. From here, lift your left heel up off of the mat. Now we're only going to be isolating our left leg. Maintain your curl as your left knee falls away from your center. This is a lot harder than it looks. And exhale, pull your knee back to your center. Your hips are not moving. Lower that left heel and lower your body down. Inhale. Exhale, curl forward. We're taking the right side. Lifting up that right heel. Letting your right knee fall away from your center. Everything else is staying still. And your hips are staying square. Draw that knee back to center. Lower the heel. Lower the upper body. Again, exhale, curling forward. So you can curl up a little bit higher without losing your neutral spine. Left heel lifts. Left knee moves away from the center. It can be very small because this is a very challenging exercise. Lift the knee back to center. Lower the heel and lower the upper body down. Exhale, curling forward. Lifting the right heel. Right knee moves away from center. Abducting away from the body, and then using your inner thigh and your abs, pull that right leg back in, lower the heel, lower the body. One more each side. Exhale, curling up and forward, soften the front of the neck. Left heel rises. Left leg abducts, moves away from the body. Hips are square, abs are in. And exhale, send that leg back into center, lower the heel, lower the body. Last one, right side. Exhale, curl forward, soften in the sternum, curl up a little higher. Right heel lifts. Right leg abducts, keeping that right waist long. Right leg back to center. Right heel lowers, and body lowers next. Great, shake your head out from side to side. That's also a real brain teaser. Moving on, exhale, curl forward, hollow out your chest. Lift both heels up. Now we go for double legs. Sending both legs away, rolling out to the side of your foot onto the pinky, and then planting your big toe back onto the mat as you bring your legs into center. Exhale, rolling out to the pinky side, and inhale, back to center. Exhale, let them fall away, keeping your elbows wide. Exhale, forward. And open. Maintaining your neutral spine. There should still be a little mouse hole underneath your back. And center. Last one, curl up a little bit higher from the abs, not from the neck. And center. Lower the heels, lower the upper body down. Open up your arms and send your fingers down towards your toes. Arms are long by your side. Keeping that neutral spine. Exhale, lift both legs up to tabletop, one at a time, to make sure that you don't go into the low back. Keeping about a fist distance apart between your knees, go ahead and lower your right leg down halfway towards the mat. And then lift the leg back up using your abdominals. Left leg levers away from the center, hips stay neutral, nothing happens with the low back, and then exhale, lift that leg back up to neutral. You'll notice that I'm keeping my feet relaxed and a bit floppy. I'm doing that because I find that if I relax my lower leg, I'm able to concentrate more on the action of levering this big heavy femur bone, my thigh bone, away from my pelvis and increasing the possibility of disassociating that leg bone from my pelvic half, which aids in mobility. Now try with your feet flexed and see if that changes your perception of the movement. Flexing, drawing your heel down towards the ground, and then lifting back up. And left leg down. Exhale, lifting back up. With flexing your feet, keep going here. You really energize through the quads, and you can really feel the connection of your heel bone to your sits bone. So there's benefits in both methods of doing this. It all just depends on what you're aiming to focus on with each practice. Lowering your right leg down halfway, last set, and lifting back up, and left leg, and back up. Squeezing your legs in together, again, keeping your feet flexed or released, depending on what you're interested in. Interlace your hands behind your head. Your adductors might be getting tired now, your inner thighs, but that's good. It's built into the workout. Exhale, curl forward, nodding your chin to chest. Maintain that neutral spine. Now lower both legs just a third of the way down towards the mat, and then exhale, lift them back up from your low abs. Your spine is staying completely neutral. Inhale to lower. Exhale first, and lift. Inhale to lower. We have 3 more. Exhale, and lift. Make sure you're not holding your breath as you take this exercise. Exhale really allows you to deepen into the low abdominals and recruit muscles that you might not even know. I'm shaking right now. You were using. And lift. Hug your knees into your chest. Lower your upper body down. Go ahead and open your legs to the side. Or stir one leg at a time, rolling over your pelvis. Whatever feels good here. 1 more second. And then lift your legs back up, squeezing your inner thighs together. Arms out to the side for our oblique exercises. First of all, I want you to practice heavying your left leg into your right leg as you tip the legs over to the right side. So it's like you turn off your left leg in a sense and give all of the weight of your left leg into that right side, and you're tipping your legs over to the side. Your shoulders are staying grounded on the mat, hips are twisting, going halfway. Pause here. Then using your right inner thigh, press that heavy left leg back up to center as you draw your left hip bone down and abs pull in towards the center. Now we switch that idea. Right leg goes for a ride. So we're pouring the weight of our right leg into our left side. So our left side is really just taking the right side for a ride. Trying to turn off that inner hip of the right side. Inhale here. And on your exhale, draw your abdominals back towards the mat and push the right leg back up to center with the left. This is a strange concept, but keep working on it with me. Over to the side, left leg gets heavy, right side supports. Twisting, twisting, twisting in the obliques, trying to keep the shoulders and arms relaxed. And then exhale, drawing your navel to spine to pull your left hip back up to center. Over to the other side, right leg gets heavy, left leg supports. Twisting, shoulders are planted. Only go as far as you can with maintaining that connection to the floor. And then left leg pushes you back up to center. One more time each side, over to the right. Right leg takes over, pushing left leg back up to center. And then transferring the energy over to the left side. Inhale and exhale back to center. Now we twist all the way over to the right, and then finally at the end, let your legs release, and don't worry so much if your shoulder comes off. Now we're in a spinal twist. Dropping your left hip down towards the ground to lengthen through that left waist. Go ahead and gaze over at your left hand. Now we're drawing circles with those left fingertips. As your fingers pass over your head, follow your hand with your eyes, but keep your head on the ground. Your left hand will cross over your right arm, cross over your legs, find the ground again, and continue the circle. Up and over, my head is following my hand, but staying on the ground and trying to keep my hand within the reach of my gaze. Up and around, expanding through that chest, reaching on the low diagonal to intensify the stretch, and let's reverse that. Down to the low diagonal, crossing over. See how it affects your upper back, cervical spine, and head. Two more, reaching down. Again, maintaining the drop of that left hip so the left waist stays long. And last one, reaching down. Up and over, head is heavy. And back to neutral. Engage the abs, pulling the spine back to the mat, lifting the legs and switching over to the other side. Legs go left, all the way down, dropping the right hip down towards the mat to lengthen to that right side. Now I gaze over to my right hand on the high diagonal. My fingers begin to activate. My elbow is soft bend. Circle around, following my hand with my eyes for 3 circles, reaching up on the high diagonal, stretching through the front of that pec, the front of the chest, keeping my head heavy on the ground. Obviously, at some point, you're not going to be able to see your hand, and that's okay, but you follow it for as long as you can. Reaching up high, and then we reverse, circling down towards my feet, up and over my head, and down. Up and over. Last one. Up and over. Back to neutral. Activate through the abs, pulling your legs to center, dropping one leg at a time, and then lengthening long out through your hands and feet. We're going for our roll-up. Flex through your feet, pressing the backs of the legs into the ground. Inhale, rise your arms up overhead. Then exhale, soften through your chest, nod your chin forward, and begin to roll your spine off of the mat, one vertebrae at a time, drawing your belly in towards your spine. Reaching over, keep that curve. Inhale here, and on your next exhale, pull your belly back, keeping your shoulders away from your ears, pressing your legs strong into the mat, rolling down as slowly and with as much control as possible. When your back finds the ground, arms come up towards the ceiling. Again, exhale, nod your chin to chest, softening. Keeping your jaw easy, not letting any tension creep up into your face. Curving over like you're curling over a beach ball. And on your next exhale, hollow out your belly. Rolling down, one vertebra at a time. Reaching hands up towards the ceiling. And last time, exhale. Working with any kind of modifications, bent knees, hands behind the head, whatever feels good for you here. And And last time, rolling back, rolling back, rolling back. Hands up over your head, and then hands down by your side. Bringing your legs up towards the ceiling, coming through a bent knee, feet point up towards the sky or lower, whatever's comfortable for you as long as you're not tucking your pelvis. Keep your pelvis neutral, legs point up towards the ceiling. We're going to be rolling up and over our head and neck. So if this is uncomfortable for you at all, please don't do the exercise or modify it whatever way feels suitable for you. We inhale and lower our legs to a 45-degree angle, squeezing our inner thighs together. Exhale first, and then send your feet up and over your head, pressing into your palms until your legs are on the low diagonal. You can see your hips. From here, flex through your feet. Open your legs about 1.5 feet, and then hollow out your belly and roll through your spine 1 vertebrae at a time. Keeping your shoulders wide, palms pressing into the ground to help slow your descent. And legs come to a 45-degree angle. Inhale. With your wide legs, exhale, send them up and over your head. Lifting up in your belly, hips go high. Squeeze your inner thighs together, point through your toes, and lower down 1 vertebrae at a time. Keeping your legs squeezed until your low back hits the mat and legs lower to 45-degree angle. Inhale. Exhale. Use the momentum, a little bit of that exhale, to hollow out the belly and get your legs over your head. Flex your feet open wide and descend with control. Test yourself. How much can you use your abs? How little can you use your arms? And inhale. Exhale. Hollow out the belly up and over the head. Squeeze the inner thighs together. Point through the toes and roll down 1 vertebrae at a time. We have one more like this. Inhale to 45 degrees. And exhale, pointed toes, hips up, press into your palms, hollow out the belly, flex the feet open wide, and then descend with control, keeping your neck long, shoulders wide, hands pressing into the ground. And lower, inhale. Last time, exhale, send your legs up and over, squeeze your inner thighs together, and now take one hand at a time to your low back. Bringing your legs up towards the ceiling. We can walk our elbows in a little bit closer, coming to what would be called a candlestick position in yoga. Reaching your legs up high towards the ceiling. Now from here, rotate from the inner thighs and from the hips. So our legs, our heels are connected, our toes are pointing up towards the ceiling. From here, keeping your left leg long, reach your right toes down towards the ground by your head. You should feel a nice stretch through the outside of your right hamstring. Rotate more from the hip to increase the stretch, and pull that right hip up towards the ceiling. And inhale, lifting that right leg up. Make sure to support your low back with your hands. Exhale, left leg reaches for the ground. Stretching that left lateral hamstring, keeping the left waist long by reaching that left hip up and away from the ground. And inhale, back up to center. If this gets too much at any point, feel free to come out of it and come back into it. Exhale, lowering the right leg. And inhale, back up to center. Last side, exhale. And inhale to center. Bending your knees, coming back into parallel. Send your feet over your head for a plow. Reach your hands down, away from your body, fingertips reaching away from toes. And then from here, either hands down by your side, or you can lift them up over your head towards your feet, which makes the roll down a little bit easier. So we're going to roll down through our spine. And if your hands are up over your head, you're able to counter the weight of your hips and your legs a little bit easier. Pelvis finds the mat. Bend your knees in. 1 foot to the ground at a time, and then lengthen through your legs. Reach through your feet and hands for one long stretch through the body. Inhale and exhale. Excellent. Walking your feet back to the mat. Go ahead and just shake your pelvis out a little bit. Rocking back and forth, tipping the pelvis. And then grab onto the backs of your thighs, lifting your legs up one at a time. We're going to rock back and forth to find our way up to a seated position, but use these few rocks to sort of massage your spine. And if this is uncomfortable on your spine, you can also double up your mat and get a little bit more cushion as we go for rolling like a ball. Finding your way up to a seated position. I invite you to take any of the variations that we've discussed or any that you know. So we have rolling like a ball, which I'll go over the basic version with legs lifted, hands around the outside of the leg, or threading your hands through and grabbing onto your ankles, or from the outside, lifting one leg at a time for open leg rocker. Whatever you're interested in today. I'll go over the basic rolling like a ball. So lifting one leg up, finding yourself rolled back slightly off of your sits bones. So there's a small curve and your tail is tucked ever so slightly. And then testing that balance. Again, your hands are wrapped around the outside of your legs. And then lifting up the other leg. Heels stay together. The closer you can bring your heels to your glutes, the harder it is, but the more like the exercise. We inhale here at the top, and then we're going to roll back as we hollow out our belly to the tips of our shoulder blades, and then inhale back up, finding a long, tall seat. Exhale, rocking back just the tips of our shoulder blades, and then finding a balance. Again, exhale, and inhale to rise. Trying to use as little momentum as possible, but get there by deepening in the abdominals. Exhale, and inhale. Last one, exhale, and inhale. Oh, that was hard for me. Finding a balance, and then lowering one leg at a time. Walking your hands back a few inches, bringing your seat closer to the center, and then pressing into your hands and feet, opening your chest wide up towards the ceiling, expanding across your shoulders. And lower. Crossing at your ankles, coming onto all fours, and then stepping your feet back into a plank. One long line, head to heels. Drop one knee at a time carefully. Untuck your toes, and then shift your pelvis forward a few inches so that you're on this sort of piked position. Head is in line with your tailbone. From here, we're going to take a few tricep push-ups. So sending your elbows back, chest lowering towards the ground, plie the arms, and then exhale, press into the palms to lift back up. We have 5 of these. Exhale, and press. Make sure that your head doesn't fall forward. We really want to keep a long neck. Just 2 more. Belly is drawing up and in. Rolling your shoulders back. Last one. Really isolating your triceps. And step back into a plank and lower all the way down onto your belly. Excellent. Pointing your toes, lining up your arms so that your elbows are underneath your shoulders and your palms are pressing down into the mat. A Sphinx Pose is what we call this. From here, easy gaze down on a low diagonal. Head and neck are open. We exhale and just nod your chin to your chest. And then one vertebral body at a time, rolling through your upper back, lifting your hips just an inch or so off of the mat, and then reversing that, lowering your hips and articulating through the spine to come back up to that long diagonal. 2 more like that. Exhale, nod your chin to chest, rolling through the spine, and exhale, dropping your hips down. And last time, nice and easy. Trying to release any extra muscular tension that's not serving. And lower. 1 more like that. Sorry about that, everybody. A little technical issue. And coming down, we're back into our Sphinx Pose. Now, a little bit of swan before we move on to our more advanced exercises. So squeezing your elbows into your sides, squeezing your inner thighs together, lowering your forehead onto the mat. Inhale, widen to your ribs. And on your exhale, draw your navel into your spine and press your pubic bone down into the mat. Maintaining this, nod your nose forward and begin to articulate an arch through your upper back, lifting your chest off of the mat. From here, see if you can test the use of your back muscles by lifting your palms off of the ground, making sure you're not using your hands. and then lower everything down back to the mat. Again, exhale, draw your navel to spine, press your pubic bone into the mat, elbows in by your sides, lifting the chest off, test, lifting your hands up, and hands back to the mat, lower down. Excellent, lift your arms out along by your ears, and now we advance this exercise, drawing your shoulders back, plugging them in, inhale wide, and on your exhale, lift your arms and upper body off of the mat, pressing your pubic bone down. From here, exhale, lift your arms to a small V, and then inhale back to center, and lower everything down. Again, exhale, hollow out the belly, and lift. Inhale, widen to a V, back to center, and lower down. 2 more. Exhale, lifting up. Inhale, V, back to center, and lower down. Last one. Exhale, lift long through the front and the back of the neck, widen, back to center, and lower down. Shake your pelvis out. Bring your hands by your side. We're going to take a little pec stretch and then repeat that exercise. I found that once I opened up my pecs, I had more range to articulate through my back body with the V motion. Send your right arm out long, wrist and arm in line with your shoulder. Then left hand by your pec, leaving your head down or lifting it up. Push into your left hand and open your chest up away from the mat. You should feel a stretch down and across your right pectoral muscle and even into your shoulder. And then you can lift that left leg up and even pull the left leg back, spiraling more through the spine to increase the stretch. If this doesn't work for you, play around with other versions that might get into those muscles. Everybody's built so differently. Sometimes this just doesn't target it. And rolling back to center, carefully with control. Switching sides, left arm goes out long, staying in line with the shoulder. Right hand comes to my armpit, and then I press away from the mat and lift my right leg up and reach my toes back on a low diagonal, stretching through my left pec. For 1 more count. And back to center. And lower. Now we have 3 more of that same, oh great, we're back, of that same exercise. Lifting your arms out in front of you long, upper arms by your ears. Inhale, fill the belly up. Exhale, draw your navel to spine and lift up and off of the mat. Inhale, reach out to a V. See if you have more space. Come back to center. And exhale, lower. Inhale, widen. Exhale, navel to spine, pubic bone into the mat, lifting off. Widen, shoulders away from the ears, small V. Back to center. And lower down. Last one, inhale and exhale. Small V and back to center and lower. Great, release that. Bringing your hands underneath your armpits, widening your knees a little bit, press into your hands, use your triceps and your hips to pull you back into a child's pose. Lengthening through your spine. And then gradually come back onto all fours, crawling your way into the center of your mat. Tucking your toes. We're going to stretch the backs of our feet for a second. This may be really intense for you. If it is, you can roll up your mat and put it underneath your quads and sit back, which gives you a little bit of distance between your heels and your bum. Or just work on gradually sitting back further. I'll talk you through the full expression. I'm going to sit up, tall on my heels, untuck my toes as much as I can so that I'm pressing into all 5 metatarsals. Then I'm going to take my hands, grab onto my heels, and because it's important to have your head below your heart at least once a day for blood circulation and other things, go ahead and tuck your chin to chest, holding onto your heels, and then gradually roll forward, hollowing out through your belly until your head finds the ground. Go ahead and press into your head a little bit and feel the stretch through your back as your heels press into your palms. And release. Sitting back. And then again, pressing your heels into your palms, stretching through the arms, hollowing out through your belly, ballooning up through that upper back. pressing into that top head chakra, and then sitting back, carefully rolling up, slowly, 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 until you're stacked. Then in your own time, walking your hands back out to this quadruped, hovering your knees and setting your hips high for another downward dog. Pedaling through your feet 1 or 2 times, and then press down into that left heel. Right leg extends back, keeping the hips parallel. And then hollow out the belly and step that right leg in between your hands. If you can't get there in one motion, take your time breaking it down piece by piece. But really what we need is just to end up in this place together. Then stamping into your left big toe and your right big toe, rolling up through the spine, arms come up overhead, lunge. Moving on to our hamstring work. From here, pitching forward and pouring your weight into that right big toe, just go ahead and test what it's like to lift off that left leg. So we press, we pitch forward, and then we kick off of that left foot, coming onto that right leg, and then fall back quietly and with control into that left foot again, back into our lunge. Tipping forward, long through the head, then shifting the weight, coming up onto that right leg, engaging the quad and the hamstrings on that right side, and then falling back. Again, carefully, especially if you have neighbors. We don't want to crash into their space. Pitching forward 1 more time, feeling that big metatarsal of that right foot pressing into the ground and falling back. Now that we've tested it, we're going to do the full exercise. So pitching forward, coming into our airplane, pressing off that left foot, arms come out wide to the side, squaring off those hips, flexing to the left foot, now lengthen that right leg. And bend the right knee, lowering down, and exhale, lift. We have 3 like this. Inhale to lower, softly creasing in the front of the right hip and the front of the right ankle, seeing if you can make more space as you bend. Exhale, lift. Last one, inhale to lower, and as you exhale, press with that left metatarsal to lift, soft bend, send that left foot back, come back into your lunge. Lengthen through that right leg to take off some weight. Ease up a little bit. And then rebend. Now we're coming back up onto that right foot and into passing. So as I shift forward, my arms come down, my left leg comes up, in towards my chest, keep my hips square, and then my left leg reaches back as my arms reverse that pattern. Exhale, press into my arms, into my right big toe, and then extend the left leg back first, pitch forward slightly to control the weight. 2 more times like this, right and press, squeezing in that right glute and pressing down into that right foot, and back, and up. Last time. And through, tipping over, and lift, and back. Turn that left heel down, come into a warrior 2. Excellent work, everybody. Lots of things happening. Now turn that right toe in towards the center and bring your hands onto your hips. Sending your chest up and towards the sky, pitch your hips back, and over straight legs, fall forward. Nod your head yes, and nod your head no. And then pressing into your legs, soft bend in the knee, leading from the head, roll back up to standing. Turn the left heels in, extend the arms, and you find yourself in warrior 2 on the other side. Then rotating that right heel up, right arm and left arm up towards the ceiling, we're back into our lunge. You may need to walk that foot in a little bit if your warrior 2 got really large, which mine usually does, because I get really excited about the position. And we reverse this exercise. So first we're starting with pitching the weight forward onto that left foot, pressing into the left metatarsal, and lifting that right leg off. Any variation of this will do, even if it's just pitching forward and testing what that's like to get that weight off. Keep going, pitching forward. We have 3 more like this. Sending the weight forward, on a bent leg, and back. 2 more, pitch, lift, engaging the quad, the hamstring on that left side, activating all of the balance in our body. Last one, pitch, and falling back carefully. Now into a full airplane, recruiting all of those muscles we just activated and tested to come forward onto that left leg. Widen the arms to the side, lengthen through that left leg, pressing into that big metatarsal on the left foot. And then we bend the left knee, softening in the front of the hip, even softening your organs down towards that thigh, and then exhale, press up. Let the belly be easy and relaxed as you lower, and then engage and balloon away from the leg, making yourself lighter as you rise. 2 more. Inhale to lower. And exhale. Expand through that low back, almost tucking your tail slightly. Last one. And exhale. And reaching that right leg back. Arms come up towards the ceiling. Extend through that left leg. Woo! Take a big exhale. Last thing. Bending that left leg. Here we go. Shifting our weight forward. Hands come down by our side. Pressing into that left leg. Oh no, and right leg comes up. Squeezing that left glute. Right leg kicks back. Left knee bends. Hands reverse their pathway. Back to neutral. And pitching forward. Standing on that left foot. And exhale. Back. We have 3 more. As you press forward, I like to say, think about a wedding cake topper. They have those little sticks in the bottom of their feet. Think about sticking that little peg down into a cake full of icing. And exhale. Into the icing. Lengthening through the glutes. And kicking that leg back. Last time. Please forgive my arms. I did crazy things. I got excited about cake. And last one. And exhale. Bring your hands down to frame that left leg. Press into the right and send the left leg back into a downward dog. Whew. To finish up, we'll do a little active stretching. So extend through that left leg. Open up the hip. Bend the left knee. Let the foot fall towards the ground. And then bring the hips back into parallel. Extend that left leg. And step your left foot to the outside of your left hand. Again, making your way there in whatever or how many steps you need to. From here, pressing your left shoulder into your left knee and your left hand and foot down into the mat. Rotate your body open, adding your head and neck, looking up at your arm, feeling a twist in the thoracic spine. Again, pressing evenly your shoulder into your knee and vice versa, and lower that down. 1 more on that side. Exhale, shoulder presses into knee, knee presses into shoulder, twisting from the center. 1 more breath, and lower down. And pressing into your hands, send that left leg back. Walk back to downward dog. Reversing that, pressing into your left heel, lifting your right leg, open up your hips. Bend the knee, let your ankle fall towards the mat. And then reverse that, paralleling your hips. Step your right foot to the outside of your right hand, taking whatever time you need to get there, and then press your right shoulder into your right knee, and then rotate from your center, again, like wringing out a wet towel. Add your head and neck, full rotation of the spine. And lower that hand down. 1 more time. Press, rotate, navel into spine. Easing all the way up your hands. And lowering that hand down. Walking back to downward dog. Pressing into your right foot, lifts your left leg up high, and we come into pigeon. Bringing your knee to your left wrist, left ankle to right wrist. Walking that right foot back, lengthening through the front of the hip. However low you are, or however high you are, really try to rotate that right hip down towards the mat. And then untuck your toes. From here, just walk your hands out, finding a comfortable place where you can release any kind of extra tension, relax into this stretch, and stay here for a few counts. I'm just going to make sure that technology is working, continuing to work. Yay! Hi everyone! So many good friends. Make sure we're staying on track with time. And from this pigeon pose, place your hands back into the mat, tuck your right toe under, Squeeze your glute, activate that back leg, and slide your left leg back into plank. And from here, let's just bring your right leg forward. The goal is to line the shin up with the front of your mat, but any angle of that, working towards that is fine. Rotating your left hip down, untucking your toes, and then drawing your chest towards the ground. Staying here for a few breaths, releasing any extra tension, and again, sending that breath, that oxygen into the tightness of the muscles. They'll respond better to you if you give them breath. One more inhale and exhale. Planting your hands back down, carefully coming up, tucking the left toes, press into your hands, send that right leg back into a plank, and then lower one knee at a time. Sitting onto your left side, coming to face the front, and then extending your legs out to the corners of your mat. This can be as wide or as narrow as you like, just coming for a forward fold to end our practice. Let's do our active stretch again, which we've been doing. So the idea is that we encourage the muscles to stay strong as they lengthen. So we're going to press our heels, our hamstrings, and our glutes down into the mat, almost as if we wanted to lift ourselves up. That's how hard we're pressing. We're going to press together, and then we'll release together. So starting here, we have press for 5, 4, 3, like you're dragging the earth into you, for 2, 1, and release everything. Begin to crawl your way forward for 3, 2, 1. Now from this new, deeper stretch, again, we activate pressing the heels down for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Really contract and release everything. See if you can go a little bit deeper. Last time, toes are facing up towards the sky, so with the knees, activate and press for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and release everything, falling into your deepest stretch. One more breath. And exhale, walking yourself back to your seat, letting your legs shake. I have to pick mine up over my mat, into center, and come into a comfortable seat. Thank you everyone for joining me on this beautiful Tuesday for Pilates in Miami.